So recording is up and running. Bop over to Star Wars, and we're going to get going with the recap. Alright, so let me drag you along for our recap. In Star Wars The Clone Wars, we have been running through the middle era. We are in year 15, month 2, start month 1 after the Great Resynchronization. And what has currently been going on is our Jedi heroes are based off of the core world of Humberine, about halfway in between Coruscant and Corellia if you're going around the rim. If you're going around the galactic center. You've had several missions out to the planet of Yutan. I'll zoom in a little bit more. That's probably too much. So Yutan here, and one thing that had happened during the Clone Wars is that the Hutts attempted to seize roughly 20% of expand and seize an additional like 20% of space outside of their traditional space. And one of the sectors that our heroes have a lot of contact with is Yutan, the Ombakond Sector in Yutan. So they received a distress call from the royal family that the sector is under attack, and the way the space routes go, they kind of have to come here and then dogleg over to Yutan to come to the rescue. The Yutan has been overwhelmed, is in the process of being overwhelmed by Hutt forces, as the Hutts actually, and you can see they come across, and they're not taking there's some overlap here of where the Hutts are actually fighting the Confederates, the Coalition of Independent Systems, and the Republic for this territory here. So this is a little bit more Legends than just the Clone Wars. This doesn't show up much in the Clone Wars animated series, so I wanted to do an adventure where we were doing something kind of unique. So we're going to look at, and our young Jedi heroes are going to be fighting against the territorial expansion of the Hutts, because the Hutts kind of just have been playing nice, but they've decided in the current war that both sides are weak enough that they can, the Hutt philosophy is somebody's got to own it, so why not me? And so they're pushing all the way towards the colonies through the expansion region, which is this region here. Alright, so 3 days of rapid deployment, and what we're going to be doing right now is our Jedi General, the hero, Jomok is heading what will be the rescue mission to attempt to save the royal family and the senators, the court at Yutan, the regional capital. And let's see, just so people can see him. He is a Kaleesh, but he is a Kaleesh Jedi. So got a touch of the dark side, a little bit of issues with aggression, but he's an effective war leader. Unfortunately, in his latest battle, Jomok has been blinded while fighting strange biotechnology using aliens called the Far Outsiders, who totally aren't the Yuuzhan Vong. And in the extreme psychic trauma of his fight against a Vong war commander brain, he was blinded due to some temporary due to some brain damage. It's possible that forced meditation will heal him, but hasn't happened yet. So we have a blind Jedi leading a rescue troop into Yutan, and as they are on the way, so Task Force. Oh, I need to go back over to Humberine, don't I? Meanwhile, back at the capital, The Jedi legation on the city planet of Humberine is busy refitting the Jedi's Navy Task Force 13. They've got the money, they've gotten the permission, and they've gotten the money, but they are in the middle of refitting all of their capital ships, which means they can't send any of their actual carriers or capital level ships. So this is going to be hyperspace capable starfighters and shuttles in the initial, which means they are relegated simply over to the equivalent of their Grand Army of the Republic Special Forces. So we're going to take a look really quick at those Special Forces, assuming my computer decides to do data. Hey look, data. What is up? It's running kind of slow today. And close a couple windows, see if I can speed things up. Come on. There we go. Kind of, yes, maybe. So if you look, we've got our special operations. We've got Void Squadrons. These are tri-wing Pegasus fighters. We've got 6 full and 4 half-size squadrons. The Jedi's Legion Task Force 13 has a squadron of clone commandos, so that's 80 commandos and 300 support personnel, because I'm modeling that off of Navy SEAL teams. And they're based out of the Fortunate, and they're divided into 8 10-man platoons with 1 to 4 typically embedded with the Venator Star Destroyers, and platoons 5 through 8 operating out of the Fortunate. And then the droid army that they captured along with their mothership contains about a battalion of commando droids, now upgraded to full sentience. So they got about 112 commando droids and 80 clone commandos who are realistically more powerful than the Jedi that they serve. And so what we're looking at right now is we are looking at where we can deploy, how we can best deploy those forces, because it doesn't take the special forces any longer to shuttle and take shuttles and fighters out than it takes our Jedi heroes to take shuttles and fighters out. So there's no reason why not to use them. So that's where we're going to jump in. I am going to go through everybody's player character sheets really quick and give everybody a fate point, because they're taking the rescue missions and they need it. And good golly, but everything is running really slow on my computer today. So 1 for Bar. You can add one. You can add yours for Jomok.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think my computer isn't really liking this whole recording thing. Lasso's up to 4. Sarge is up to 10. Oh, we couldn't do our last stunt with the. Sarge has 10 fate points. You wanna look at the No, we won't go back about the control chips, but goodness gracious. Okay, so
for next time.
Yep. So you have clone commandos. You've got 8 group. So you've got 80 clone commandos. About just under 120 droid commandos. You've got effectively 8 squadrons of tri-wing fighters. So I'm going to zoom in really quick on the map and not get the big picture, and I'm going to. Did I bring everybody back over here, or did I just click on it? No, I brought everybody back over. Okay, good. So you're going to see a lot of star systems that don't have any highlights to them. And what these are lost star systems. So in the expansion region, this used to be a heavily colonized place, but the Old Republic, starting about 1,000 years ago actually, was so corrupt and evil that it allowed megacorporations to come in and basically strip mine these planets until their economies collapsed and they were either economically or physically uninhabitable anymore. And so most of the planets, I would say a majority of the star systems in this region that were inhabited have been abandoned. The maps that our heroes got in their earlier adventures for the ancient Sith fortress of the Eye of the Force, over on Lost Azeron, which they've kind of rediscovered, that they got holo maps of the ancient habitation. So they don't just have star charts of the modern inhabited planets, which are outlined, but they also have, our heroes have star charts of the old abandoned star systems as well. So because of their previous campaigning, our heroes have far superior knowledge of hyperspace routes. They know routes that have been long forgotten, obstacles that in the Big Barrens, which is the name of these areas where just nobody's living anymore. So they know these star systems. It's worth pointing out that they even used 4 mega force crystals from the eye of the ancient Sith temple that they purified and then used over in the upper left-hand corner for the planet Chun, which is where they have Chun Castle, which is their own secret kind of fortress of solitude. But that's something they're keeping secret even from the Jedi Council, and so they're not probably going to bring clones or anybody else there. Our heroes have figured out that Order 66 is coming, but they also know that Emperor Palpatine is responsible for it. And if they make any waves or they give away that they've uncovered his secret, there's so many ways that Palpatine can just disappear them that it's not even funny. So they're trying to deal with that behind the scenes, because they don't have enough to worry about just trying to be being teenage boys trying to survive the Clone Wars. Characters started off as one 14-year-old and a pair of 16-year-olds. We're about a year and a half in, so they're kind of like 17-ish, 17 and a half, 15 and a half. And this is a region where they've had some adventures, and they absolutely need to go to Yutan here, which is the sector capital. But when we were setting up the campaign, we were kind of asking, what did you want to see? And two of my gamers, both Cookman and Master Waltzing, said that different ports of the Korean War intrigued them. And so we're kind of starting a miniature Korean War in this one sector where the free peoples are just being completely railroaded. You can see where Hutt-aligned forces have swept in out of the and started just taking over. So if you see these, the red outlined, that's Hutt controlled. And if they weren't originally allied to the Hutts, then they've got a little color bar indicating where they used to be. Blue systems were non-Republic members, but like small countries or states. White systems used to belong to the Republic and have still been captured. If they still belong to the Republic in full, then their outline is just white. Green are like tiny individual planets, if you want to think like Lando Calrissian's Cloud City. That's kind of what those bright green systems are. And you can see that the Hutt's massive invasion is completely smashing through all defenses. Entire areas of both independent and Republic planets are failing. And so on the way, Jedi General Jomok is trying to come up with the best way to deploy his special forces units while he goes in to rescue the royal family from Yutan. hit me with that mega military, or you wanna pick the brains of the other, of everyone else.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for aspects with them, or just give the +1?
We're gonna give you just +3 from from everybody helping. We're gonna do everything I can to keep today. I want to do as much as possible tonight, so we're just gonna keep it simple. So +3 for military.
Okay.
Five. That's two aspects. So that's enough to give you two aspects: forward operation bases and reconnaissance in force.
Okay.
Um, so what something that you want to do is you probably want to pick an abandoned star system, right? You're kind of getting a head start on the Rebel Alliance. You pick small mobile bases that your squadrons and troops can rally out of, and that supply shuttles can get to um, within striking distance. Of course, this is just one sector, so if you kind of think about it like as one state in the United States, it may be a couple hours. It may be up to half a day to fly across this whole map, but this is not an entire this is not an entire sub galaxy. It's just if it takes more than a day, it's because you have to do a really wiggly, windy path.
Right.
So
Okay.
let's kind of zoom in probably towards where the front is now, and start picking. If it was a blue system, blue lettered, then that used to be a Jedi. A Jedi ruled planet during the last major war 1,000 years ago. If it was red lettered, that was a old Sith. It's an abandoned planet that used to belong to the Sith, because that's where your old holomaps come from. And you can pick probably one main rebel base, and then a pair of pick a rebel base on a lost world, and then a pair of kind of two or three forward bases that you can put other squadrons on, and then you can just kind of slap some special forces to guard it, and a squadron or two to fly missions out of it.
Okay.
And then they can
The
start doing reconnaissance in force, where they drop out of hyperspace from a random vector and skim the system. If they can shoot something, they do. If they can't, then they retreat, and you start getting more intel from behind enemy lines. So pick a pick a home base.
I'm thinking that one that'll work nicely would probably be one that was not terribly close to anything else. Mm, I'm thinking of like one of the ones in this area. I don't know how far in I'd want to necessarily go. Is that too far forward based, or is that not enough?
Well, if you pick a secret home base, right, that isn't too far forward, then you can have prongs going deeper in.
Okay. Well, let's do Trevenig then.
Okay.
Looks like it's close enough to some of the rebel space here. You have some independent systems that are surrounding it. So, I mean, looking at everything around it, it is going to mostly support our means if something does end up happening. We can run in multiple directions.
Okay. And forward operating bases might be like one special forces team or two, and maybe one squadron um, deeper in supporting.
Okay.
So you got like one main base and a two or three smaller ones.
All right. I like the idea of either Burris or Bodilli here to help kind of cut off. It makes me think of like St. Louis and the Mississippi River. You know, if you can control this huge hyperspace lane that's going through here with old Republic space. So I mean, freshly just conquered
Yep.
Republic space would make it really, really good strategic spot. And then I don't know if it'd be possible to have a forward base over here in Cause Winston.
Hold on, I'm
Um,
trying to see where you're pinging.
it's over right by Yutan,
Oh yeah.
just across the border. So that way we can kind of just go in here and hopefully disrupt the Barragond front, um, especially when it comes to extracting the necessary people and potentially like technology or supplies to help kind of construct a counteroffensive, at least from like a the Ombakond sector standpoint. So we need a disruptor. We need somebody that's going to be behind enemy lines right there, kind of like just jumping across the lines in
What if we go
Korea.
with Bar Ripper?
Oh, okay, that works too. Yeah.
Okay. And then you want one kind of more further north of your main base?
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Um, I like either helping Independent or Republic um, systems a lot, but would it help us with a neutral system to get those people on our side? So something like Balabio, uh, and doing something up in that area,
So you're thinking like
like or
Kurthern?
yeah, because Kurthern there could potentially help out with this neutral space and help those people kind of really want to come to the Republic side, as well as maybe going up and helping the Republic space there or the independent systems to the
Okay.
northeast. That's actually a good spot.
And do you want to be more aggressive, where most of your forces are deeper in, or do you want to be a little more defensive, where most of your forces are at Trevenig and smaller forces are at the forward ones?
Um, these troops have they do better when they're not directly opposed by traditional forces. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's space special forces is kind of like extraction, scouting. What the one thing they're not really built to do is go up against big numbers of enemies
Right.
because they
Um,
can get swamped. Now, when that happens, the kill ratios are ridiculous. If you have read like Lone Survivor, where a SEAL team squad of 5 came under fire, I think they killed like 150 before the last of them was down. It was just 40-1 kill ratios, but they still went down.
right. Um, I think that being said, I want it to be fairly balanced. I mean, the idea is to try to do good reconnaissance, but at the same time, not overextending the resources. So,
Okay.
um, I mean, I just think of like a Viper attack. You know, it's like when they have a good opportunity to come in, and tip the balance with good intel, good recon. Definitely do that, but don't I don't want the guys just sitting there just for the sake of trying to support the planetary defenses or trying to end up stemming the tide. They're not going to be the ones doing any actual fighting unless they know that it's going to be an overwhelming victory that they can actually pull their guys out of. So I guess it would be slightly more on the conservative side until there's a good opportunity. I know. It seems like a little bit of like wanting the best of both worlds. Which one of the movies was it where they were like, I open the door and then it was like, and the trap goes off and it's like, I sneakily open the door
The
and like they just
Gamers. That
like,
was the original
yes.
Gamers. As a master thief, I'd crawl inch by inch.
Which is like a really good example of people trying to like outgame the system. Like you still have to play it from the standpoint of you can't retcon stuff and take it back and move things around once you start getting knowledge. Like you have to play it where it lies, you know, like you have to play
Yep.
your
So
characters
at
where they're at.
Kethern, we're putting Void Squadrons 1 and 2. So 24 multi-purpose heavy starfighters,
Okay.
one platoon of clone commandos, and and then one company of droid commandos.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to mirror that at Bodily and Barripper. So
So that puts a little less than half of our forces at the forward operating bases.
your squadrons are going to be spread evenly, but the majority of your special forces troops are going to be at Trevenig.
Okay.
Because you got six light squadrons, 3 and 4, and then that's 2 platoon and or second platoon and second company. Ugh, my computer's not plugged in? That's not good. I imagine
Yeah.
I imagine my computer wants power.
My
Okay.
computer's getting close to was it 8 or 10 years old now, and if I don't have it plugged in, it likes to die. So I know the feeling.
Oh, see, I with the new with Jedi Survivor coming out next month. Uh, if my gaming laptop can't run it, I'm getting a new gaming laptop. It's that simple.
Hey, that's a good strategy. I like it.
All right, so your forward operating bases each have 2 squadrons, which should cover, shuttles, of course, 2 squadrons, a 10-man platoon of clone troopers, and about a 50-man company, 26 or so droid company of commando droids. And, they can do raids, they can do spy missions, that kind of thing. But they're
Right.
not going to be fighting any, the light squadrons are the only things that can fight major battles, and even then you're mostly going to be doing the Rebel Alliance thing, which would be drop out of space, everybody dumps all of their proton torpedoes on one capital ship to try to damage or destroy it. Everybody turns around and runs away. Right.
It works as long as they don't follow you.
And so this is light, dagger, burn, and light, guard, burn, and thief squadrons. Oh, that didn't work. So
Thief
light,
squadron.
guard, burn, and thief squadrons. And then you've got 4 through 7 platoons, or 4, 5, and 6. 6, 7, and then 4 through 7 company. So that's where the vast majority of your special forces is going to be holed up.
Okay. That's a good amount.
Yep. And right now, Light Squadron is going with you to Yutan.
Woohoo!
All right. So you've planned the forward operating bases. Obviously, now you know where your rendezvous is. You're going to go from Yutan up to Trevanique, which is going to be a short hop. And now it's time for you to be a big solo operations hero.
All right. That's going to be a lot of Gakovians saving my bacon.
So we're going to go up and... Oh, nope. Wrong map yet. That's high orbit. Space battlefield. Yeah, you're blind. You're actually not a pilot. So, I can skip for the very first time, I can actually skip that. Because you're not piloting anything.
Just standing back and being one with the force.
You're in the passenger seat in the shuttle as the squadron deploys. So you hear the sounds of battle taking place, and the Yutan, the capital, there's enough firepower from the royal palace still in operation that about a third of the orbit is clear, but the Hutt capital ships, and they seem to be mostly using converted bulk freighters and Marauder class corvettes, which are about twice the size of the blockade runners. They're about 200 meters long, and each carries a squadron of fighters. So they're using second-hand capital ships and converted cargo to do most of their fighting, but they're staying clear of the capital's orbital defense cannon. They're dropping people over in like other hemispheres and having them skim over.
Oh, okay.
Take little suborbital hops then to start, to constantly be pressing in. So there is fighting going on everywhere, but the orbitals haven't completely closed. So if you can get them, Light Squadron can get you out. So we haven't been here for a while, but this is the painting, the painting I totally ripped off for the capital city of Yutan.
Right.
The shields, the capital can't, the palace can't lower its shields, and the big anti-orbital cannon that are positioned all around the capital are busy, blasting away at enemy capital ships. So you're going to actually have to land kind of on the other side of the city just to avoid running into pillars of turbo laser fire, which is going to place you down near the library where you guys had fun last time.
Okay.
No, the square of the source and the void. Yes, indeed. So they land, and everybody deploys to protect the landing zone. The starfighters are going to stay airborne. And look, it's Darth Trillwitzel.
Oh, I'll miss him.
Delete. You're the one who ripped him to scrap.
I know. It was a very good thing that we did it.
It was good that I ripped
still
him
miss
to
him.
scrap. Yeah, because he was a get out of plot trouble free card. He was just ridiculously overpowered. So you are heading towards the capital, and I feel like, the town square would be an excellent place to get you in trouble. Don't you feel like the town square would be an excellent place for you to get in trouble?
That's where most people get in trouble.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yoink, take that fate point. I'll even give you 2 fate points. I just feel that generous.
Oh, that's ominous. I do have a whole group of people around me though that are helping me out though, right?
Nope, they're holding the LZ. Something tells you that you'll be able to you'll be able to go faster yourself. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mob of Rhodians. I shouldn't let Rhodians have all the fun.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm gonna be able to move faster on my own without the whole big group of guys to protect me.
You're gonna be able to not attract as much enemy attention.
Okay, that is a fair point.
It's going to be better to sneak through this to sneak through the battlefield than it is to try to fight your way through an urban war. Yay, Gamorreans. So here I've got a mob of...
I was thinking of
Go for it.
You say Gamorreans, and it makes me think of Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, no. Nope. These are the Hutt slave enforcer, tiny-brained pig people with the vibro axes. And Rhodian gunslingers.
Can I look into the Force and see all the evil and death they've caused and rip their soul out?
You're just going to dark side them, huh?
Retribution.
Vengeance?
No. Yeah, I mean the angel of balancing the scales of the Force.
Yeah, that's not the Jedi way.
That might be the way of the living Force, though. You never know.
I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be rolling dark side, against dark side, your darker nature if you do this. Are you sure?
That's like telling the archangels over Sodom and Gomorrah that they needed to roll dark side or something. They didn't. They did exactly what was willed of them.
Okay.
I'm joking. I'm not actually gonna do that.
Oh,
you're,
good.
you're you're gonna force me to roll dark side. Uh,
Yeah, I would.
but is there any way for me to avoid them, like sense them and avoid them beforehand?
Um. uh. You can. You can try and sneak past them. Then they will
Okay.
go right on killing the women and children that they were doing before you came across them.
I thought I was trying to go fast, not save everybody.
Ah, but you took fate points, which means some things get complicated.
Oh, that is a good point. I did take fate points.
I'm not going to put all the illustrations of the, you know, dead kindergartners at their feet, but
And yet I still can't rip their souls out. Got it.
see, do not overcome evil with evil. Do not fight evil with evil, but overcome evil with good. Cut them in half.
Mm.
It's way more moral than just like, ripping their internal organs out their nostrils.
No, I'm not ripping their internal organs out. I'm snatching their soul Shang Tsung style.
Ah. No, because then I'd make you pick up another stunt and you would lose your agency. You'd be an NPC.
There's a stunt for ripping somebody's soul out?
Yep. That's dark side healing. You rip the life force out of somebody else and just shove it in yourself to heal.
Dang.
Yep.
Whew, did not know that. So I guess the best thing here would be just to fight them, I guess. Normal Jedi style.
All right.
Seems so anticlimactic now that we have all these other options on the table.
Isn't it interesting once you actually master the sword, swinging a sword around isn't all that exciting? Or it could be Tuesday ///.
Who gets the initiative here?
So you do.
Okay. So I'm surprising them. I roll with advantage. I get this.
You wish. They see you coming, but
all right. I'm going to. I think I'm going to try to do a force TK on both because these are like two zones. I feel like, right?
the gunmen are a little more spread out. I'd call it 3 zones. But
Okay.
let's see. Let's see.
Can I force push the front guys into the back guys? So do like
Yes,
a force zone push with that. Okay.
that's very Fallen Order. We have got to get you a new modern computer so you can play that game.
I wait. Fallen Order is the one with BD1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing that on my desktop right now. I told you I just sit there and I farm the same clone.
Oh yeah.
Clone fighters are yeah, every single time. It's fun. I get lots of force points. Rocket launchers. So yeah, I'm gonna do because I have a force of superb right now. So my first force box starts off at 5. Dress, right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's just take off the third force stress box. So I ended up doing a zone
So 1 zone.
of 5 shifts.
2 zones. You're just gonna bring those zones together for 5 shifts. So it's 2 for each zone.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna be down 4. So you're gonna be doing
All right.
like weapons. So 5, 6, 7. So you're gonna be doing weapons 3 to everybody and to all of them in these zones.
All right.
Okay. Ah! Did you just roll legendary?
I just rolled up 3. That was nice. I like that.
So the Gamorreans will try to attack you before you can. Yeah, nope. And the Rhodians will try to shoot you before you can. Nope. Well, that life and death battle went very quickly. All right. So now that you're at the full strength of a Jedi Knight, you feel them in the Force. You feel like one group feels like you have left hand, and you reach out and feel the other group like right hand, and then you clap your hands violently a couple times. And you walk peacefully by the broken and twitching bodies of the invaders. Great googly muggly, Cookman.
Nice. You said they had vibro axes on them or something like that?
Gamorreans have big, heavy, blunt vibro axes, yeah.
Okay, can I force TK them behind me?
Why?
The next group I see, I just want to throw it at them.
Okay, you'll start your next fight with your first dress box full.
Okay.
I assume that means you're planning on having another street fight before you get to the palace?
If it happens, yeah.
If it happens. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, or I could just bring them with me into the castle. That works too. They do have a castle, right? That's the...
Yep. Yeah, they've got a castle. So let's take. I'm going to take this over back. I'm going to take this back to the map of the city. Ven's Landing is the name of the capital. So I'm going to draw a shape. You had to fight here in the square.
Wait, where?
You had to fight with the red boxes in the square. Now you're going towards the bridge. So we will have your next fight be kind of at the bridge. Goodness gracious. Yeah, you scare me.
My characters aren't half as scary as yours. I'm just waiting for like one of your previous characters to show up in one of our games and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this is giant-sized human wolf hybrid that just happens to sling spells," and we're like, or like, you meet another human.
Speaking of human wolves, you do have to deal with guards over by the start of the bridge.
Nice.
Yes. And this time.
Wait, these aren't wolfmen, are they? No.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I spent some money on I spent some money on tokens, so I didn't have to spend all my weekends doing screen grabs. And I found an excellent pile of Star Wars ripoffs. So,
The Chistavanian? Huh. Interesting.
um, yeah. So another fate point
Okay.
for a battle on the bridge, and you gotta put yourself on the map in front of all the
Will
nice
do.
people with guns. There we go.
Is that too
No,
close?
that's fine. And you would be up. So a pack of wolfmen with blaster rifles stands in front of you. Huts like their slave races.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about the potential lightsaber stunts I could have pulled up to deflect blasters. That would have been fun, but I don't have that, so I just have to have initiative.
Didn't you pick up force healing?
I do have force healing.
Yeah. You're taking a you're much closer to Yoda's path than anything else. Force
But
sense, telekinesis, force healing. Yep.
Yoda can catch force lightning though.
Yoda is an 850-year-old grandmaster when that happened.
True.
You're 17 and a half.
You saying that's not the first time he caught lightning?
I'm saying it's not the first time he caught lightning. True.
I think at this point I'm going to try to blow them both off the bridge. Like literally just up in the air off the bridge.
Alright. You don't need them dead, you just need them out of the way. Well,
100%,
although,
yeah.
you know, falling a couple hundred feet into water can be life-threatening anyway. Knock enough wind out of you, alter your state of consciousness, and then put you at a random angle underwater. That can be bad. Okay, you get to go first. Oh, this is almost completely unfair. So this is one reason why you're going alone. He's just Woyo kind of walking briskly through, and squads of enemies pop up, and you're just kind of like force slamming them in groups against walls and walking by.
I don't know if I can push them off in different directions or if I just do it in the same direction.
You can push them in different directions. That's fine.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a snowplow look to it. Push them up and back.
Yes, Moses, you're parting the Wolf Sea. The rifle-armed Wolfman Sea.
It was a third stress box, so it's going to be weapons 3 again. And I rolled up 2 for epic. Yeah. Okie doke.
Yeah, okay. That fight was also very brief. So,
I mean, it was non-lethal though too. So.
Well, it was less lethal. I like how the police call it less lethal. If I were to catapult you 15 stories through the air and then have you impact water from several hundred feet up, people who jump off the Golden Gate Bridge aren't actually expecting to survive.
That is true.
Okay, so you've demonstrated your Jedi creds. On the near side of the bridge, you have, lightsabers are boring. Splish splash. Yeah, that's at least 150 feet from the scale, if not more. Because they've got, full-size warships going underneath it. So sploosh. I
Ouch.
think you have made a pair of very large noises in the Force.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you, but I think I think you might have gotten noticed.
That seems like a very um, very easy conclusion to make, or it doesn't take a genius to realize that that's probably the reality of it. Yeah. But is there anybody force sensitive enough to come and call me out on
At the far side of the bridge, I will answer that question.
it?
So,
Speaking of werewolves, no, that's joking. We already did that one.
yeah.
The Hutt actually have
Been there.
force sensitive fighters.
Well, this is the Clone Wars, an environment in which there are, you know, were tens of thousands of um, tens of thousands of Jedi. So you either have like somebody like Mandalorians who believes they can deal with Jedi, or you get somebody who can is another Force user.
Got you.
And it's time to introduce our bad guys, although it's not actually a Godzilla-sized ninja.
It's just a ninja.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, and you brought backup. No?
He did bring backup.
Okay.
His backup just doesn't rely on blasters. You have 10 refresh, 9. Will be nice. A squad of ninja-looking people are standing at the far side of the bridge in front of you. They have drawn, um, they have drawn blades that seem to your Jedi senses to be humming with an almost audible tone of the dark side. A tone which resonates in parts of you that you wish you didn't have.
Okay.
You still get to go first. You can say or do whatever you'd like. They're not really talkative types, being ninjas. You know, they stand in your way with bared blades that seem to glow in your mind's eye with darkness.
So I can clearly perceive them.
Oh yeah. And since you're not using your eyes, aggression, anger, dark-sidiness pouring off of them. Feels familiar.
Okay. Let's see what skills I have. I will do a social attack with provoke. I will pull out my lightsaber, put it behind my back, and be like, "Come fight this humble, this humble servant of the light, if you dare." And then the lightsaber shows up from behind my back, as I literally have my hands clasped up. Does it make sense?
Yes. Also, Meep.
The goal with this is to get them to charge me and not to try to use any tactics. So I get a hopefully have an aspect placed on them that it's like uncoordinated, or something like that, or blinded by rage, or I don't know, something that makes it so they're not able to really think this through. Do they have a lot of inhibition? Do they really have self-control?
Well, you're going up against a zone, so I'm going to take 2 shifts off that. So they've got to defend against a good individually.
Sounds good.
Oh, Shaisa.
Wow. Somebody crap.
-1, 0, 1, and -1. Okay, so you have provoked them to reckless aggression. Because of course
do I
you
get a second aspect for the -1s?
Yes.
Nice. Well, that was worth it. How many of those axes did I have?
What?
What? The TK axes.
Are you still carrying those around? Oh, you're scary.
I never set them down.
Okay, your first stress box is still filled in then. And
okay.
5.
Okay. 5 it is.
So they come force leaping in to land all around you with those empowered dark side blades, burning and scalding against your force senses. And you've got to defend against a fair, a great, a mediocre, and a superb.
All right. I'm just gonna roll 1 roll for defense, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Or do you want 4 individuals?
You wanted them to attack as individuals, so I think you need to defend against them as individuals.
Okay. Sounds good. So 2, 4,
0,
5.
and 5. Yep.
All right.
So your second and your third and your fourth physical stress boxes would fill in. I'm assuming you want to tag your advantages off of those last 2 to avoid any stress.
I will. Yes.
Okay.
So it'd be the second and the fourth person, right?
Yep. So the second and the fourth person. So you defend against all 4 force assassins at the same time. Looks really awesome. Pity you can't see it.
Right.
So begin the spinny Heidong kata, and you're just like, yep, this is a very Baekdong Su moment.
All right. Jomok is going to, right after he defends against those attacks, he's going to bend over and push his hands forward in the direction that they came from and do a force TK on all of those axes to strike the zone.
You're in the zone. You know that. You're surrounded, right?
Can I not avoid myself?
You probably can. Alright, you're gonna tag TK axes and make a telekinetic attack against the zone. You are scary, scary man. Scary man.
So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's gonna be I'm gonna do my 6 stress box. That'll be 8 shifts for the zone, and I don't know if the
+2 for the aspect. So they only have good force, so if they roll up 4, they're still taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah. Bits and pieces. You taste hot. You taste. Wow, you're just sprayed with warmth, and almost scalding warmth and coppery smells and tastes as your axes, a quick tornado of vibroaxes orbits you momentarily, and when all of the momentum is spent, that which surrounds you is not readily recognizable as humanoid.
Can I pick up those swords?
They're broken.
Okay.
So are the axes. Just it was messy on the bridge.
Okay.
You scare me. You're this is I'm not this is I did not set out to direct another horror movie. But no.
Maybe it would have worked better if I had just ran and not actually fought anything. Um, so that's three large uses of the force. Am I still good to go to the castle?
Um you're gonna need to make a rapport roll to get in past the gate guards.
Oh, okay. It's a great rapport. I rolled even.
Okay. Yes, of course they remember you from when you saved the planet. Won't you please go up to, you know, won't you please go into the heart of the mountain to the royal chambers? Goodness gracious, kid. Ah. I thought this was going to be more of a challenge, but no. Power gaming weasels.
I think the bigger challenge is not having dark side stress and consequences. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought I would have more time than this. Okay. So, there is an elderly king and his court, and they are refusing to leave. They're going to set an example to their people. But the prince heir is a young man of around 30, and or in his mid 30s, and they beg you to take his wife and the son and the captain of his guard to safety, because the king cannot abandon his people.
Okay.
You're like, no problem, or you're gonna try to convince the whole court to come with you, or yeah.
I would.
I think I'm gonna offer you a fate point and just say like the royal court refuses to go.
All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna like to do a social encounter if I can.
Yep.
Social conflict. I would like to use rapport to try to endear myself to them and let them know that I'm on their side. Am I okay to do a roll for that?
Um, yes, of course. And but they know you're on their side.
I know, but I want to, you know, you make a compliment sandwich, you know?
You are the hero of Yutan, and they're encouraged by your fortitude, but they have the duty of their blood, and yeah, they just don't care. They beat you by 3.
Well, dang. I don't really see a whole lot in terms of my skills, or force powers that would help me in this situation. Yeah. So nobody will leave. Um,
Obviously, if nobody leaves, you fail your mission.
right. And then yeah, mm, that's tough because I'm not going to stick around to fight a losing battle either. Uh, well, I guess this is where the conflicted path of the Gray Jedi comes in. I'm not too happy about this. So, what can the Force do for me?
You're going to mind trick the court. Mind tricks mostly work on the weak-minded, and that's not these
These people,
guys.
yeah. What about um the king's retinue? Like is there any way to convince them to escort the king and his family?
So I think you're gonna have to go with empathy and I want to see empathy and scholarship and rapport, right? Because it's a republic system.
Okay.
You've been around before, but knowing all the right facts never matters. You remember arguing with your family about Lutheranism. You can have all the facts you want, and if the emotions aren't there, it doesn't help.
Empathy, scholarship, and rapport. They all do not do it. Empathy is not there.
Well, you can add scholarship to your rapport. But looks like without fate points, you're not going to be able to succeed at your mission.
Okay. Is it one fate point to get that?
Well,
Or
you got a great, and they got an epic.
okay.
So that's going to be like 2 fate points.
Sounds good. So definitely have the war aspects involved here. Like this is not just a matter of pride. This is a matter of surviving and be able to continue fighting the war. to also remind them that I can't fight this for them. Like, I can't literally stand up to this group on my own.
Ah, but can't you use your battle meditation as you did before and change the odds in the skies?
It is beyond that right now. We must fight where we can win and take back this space one step at a time. Lest we fight for a Pyrrhic victory.
Hmm.
What you thinking?
Um. So, are you planning on just bringing the prince, the prince and his family, or are you going to try to save as many people as you can?
I would say that I'm going to try to bring along as many people as seems like logistically possible. If that means doing a quick setup to get some like light cruisers or something to escape, then let's definitely do that. Otherwise, if
Okay.
it's
So roll contacts.
roll contacts, oh my goodness, I don't have that. Mm-hmm.
You, everybody who can. The city is under siege, and everybody who has anything that can have gotten out is gotten out. So you've got maybe 20 people, and that's going to really overload your shuttle. But you only need the life support to last for like 2 hours to get to the rendezvous
Right,
point.
right,
So the young prince, his wife, um, his courtiers. There's a secret escape that you can use that will lead you out into the mountain forests behind you, and from there you should be able to signal your shuttles to come pick you up.
okay.
But the king and his retinue will be staying and you know fighting to the last because that's just the honor code of the region. So this way he can provide for his people's future and still, and not be a coward in the face of an honorable death.
Gotcha. So basically, what you're saying is he's passing the torch.
Yeah, this is he can't. He's too old to start over again. The king's your general take on it is that the king's too old to start over again. Um, the king's too old to start over again, but he doesn't want his heir to die. You know, he wants to save his family as much as he can. Um, this is one of those honor and shame versus biological parenting imperatives.
Right.
Yep.
I get it. It's the grandpa on the porch with the shotgun while everybody else, drives away. Got it. Well, I'll say something really nice about the send off and be like, punch him in the teeth.
Oh my, I haven't updated this map in a while. That was Faker Company on the planet of Bipfash was the last time you guys did a fight in the forest.
Right.
So you emerge leading the entourage from the secret passage to the far side of the mountain, and you pick up your comms to call for a pickup, and but I'm gonna offer you at first one fate point for trouble
Ooh.
on this side of the trouble on the far side.
Okay. Trouble on the far side of the mountain. Got it. Dun 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 dun. Ba-dun, dun, dun, dun. Bust out some force lightning. Dun, dun, dun. It is Star Wars canon that you can literally pull stuff out of people's hands with TK, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
So there are wolfmen and more of those strange force ninjas blocking your way. And one of the force ninjas reaches out. Oh, I should do this a little differently. I apologize. Give me 1 second.
You're like, no, not in concentric semicircles. We need to do it in a different shape.
Oh, no. I want you to be cut off and surrounded. I'm perfectly fine with that. One of them is showing his face. And he points at you and says in Huttese that, Jedi, step aside, and step aside and you do not need to die. along with the princeling.
My character doesn't know Huttese. So.
What is your scholarship level?
Fair.
Okay, so you know your native language, and then standard, and 2 other languages.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them are Huttese? Have you already picked what they are?
I know one of them's droid.
There's no such thing as droid. Nobody can speak binary.
Nobody can do the whistles bops?
Nope.
Like
No.
BB-8 and
Nope.
R2-D2?
Nobody can. Only another droid can understand a droid. The whole
I thought
time,
Luke was able to understand him.
Luke has conversations with R2 in the starfighter, and he's looking down, and what R2 beeps and whistles, the computer was printing out in front of him in Return of the Jedi. And interesting, and Empire Strikes Back. Not even people with Force Tech can speak droid.
I did not know that. I'm guessing the Kikovians probably speak standard.
Yeah, around you. And they're a one planet, they don't get out much, so. They speak,
Okay.
they speak standard English with an adorable Australian accent. Almost like a Geico commercial.
What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Okay, so the assumption is that my character does speak Huttese.
Yep.
Okay, well, he will play like he doesn't understand Huttese. He does have a very good deceit.
Okay, so then in response, the enemy commander says, in slightly more accented standard, "There's no need for you to die today. Step aside. We've come for the princeling."
And then Jomok says, "Sorry, if you're saying something I can't hear you, I'm blind."
Okay, Harry Dresden. So be it. Die with the rest, and you get your extra fate point.
Nice. Woo, woo, woo. Love them fate points. Who goes first?
You do.
Yay! I reach out and squish that dude.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna force crush him?
Yeah.
That's dark side.
Okay.
Okay. Roll it. And how much stress are you gonna use? 0 for just a straight telekinesis attack, or are you gonna put 4 stress into it?
I'm gonna put stress into it for sure.
Oh goodness gracious. Alright. Which stress box are you gonna use on the poor enemy commander?
The 6th one. That'll be
Weapons 10.
He showed his face.
Weapons 10. Okay, roll it.
Alright. I mean, hopefully it does something.
Yeah, you hear every bone in his body crack, and blood pours out of orifices like a squozen juice box. Yeah, there's vomiting and screams of horror from the courtiers behind you.
As Jomok has his clenched fist in front of him and whispers to himself, "You court death." I mean, don't pull a gun out unless you're gonna plan on getting shot. I'm gonna be honest. So, he's dead, right?
Goodness gracious, Cookman. That was just horrific. Um,
Uh, so I'm guessing that has zero effect on the other guys.
one corpse. They're gonna attack you now.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. Working as a team, they come in with a superb attack of 3 Sith blades, 3 dark side, 3 alchemical blades coming in from 3 different angles.
Okay.
I didn't know we'd be reacting Zatoichi today.
So Jomok pulls a tune, and he's going to try to just anticipate the moves and get out of the way. What's the? So they attacked as one. So it's this gonna be weapons 3 then, or?
Yep, weapons 3.
So it's 5. Yeah, I'll take that.
3rd stress box and a mild scratched.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. And so, are the other guys going to be attacking too?
Yes. Now they're all going to shoot you.
They're going to shoot into their group of buddies?
I guess not. I guess they'll just shoot a bunch of courtiers instead. Eight courtiers fall dead.
Okay.
And a hail of blaster fire. Unless you want to do something to defend it.
No. No. I think I'm kind of busy right now.
Damn, Cookman, that's cold.
So Jomok is going to ignite his lightsaber. He's going to try to ignite it. No. Actually, no, he won't.
I mean, you realize if you keep doing this, you're going to fail your mission.
Yeah, I do understand that. That's a good point.
Like, I feel like, I feel like as a Jedi, you're either leaving the Jedi Order or you're saving those courtiers.
But you didn't say all of them. You just said saving them.
8? You're not going to defend.
How many are there?
8. There's. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 18.
That's just. I mean. I don't know how to fight this effectively. You know what? Okay. He ignites his lightsaber and uses the force to like basically get in the way and deflect the blaster bolts. Is that okay? Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna need one more fate point.
You said one more fate point?
Yep.
There we go for... Because he is a Jedi. And he's saving them.
Okay. You're up.
I'm guessing at this point he's like back closer here. Is that right? Is that okay?
You've been kind of like bouncing. You had to do like sideways flips to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You weren't quite doing cartwheels, but it looked like it looked like a Heidong black belt kata for there. You know.
Right.
Spin, 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 block, 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 block.
He's going to force push all three of these guys.
Okay. So five boxes is the max you can get for a zone.
Yep.
So
yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. One zone.
I mean, he's just doing these guys.
If you do, you're gonna have to block. Yeah, you're gonna have to defend against the Wolfman again next.
I mean, like, how much? Oh, I guess they all can just take like 4 stress, can't they?
Yeah.
So if he just does like a huge, yeah. So that's 4 zones then. Is that right?
Yeah. Let's work it out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Oh, this one could actually be in with this other one's. It looks like.
Well, but you can't subdivide
1, 2, 3,
like
4,
that.
5. No.
You can't. You can't fight. You can't throw multiple attacks in one turn. Right. So that's kind of your blast wave.
Okay. To fill in my 4th stress box, that's 9 stress
minus 8.
4.
So it's 1 stress hit.
Yep. All right. Oh man. No, I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay.
Come on. Okay, that was at least something.
So the Sith assassins roll down 1, so they'll take 2 stress, and the gunmen break even, so they'll take 1 stress. Feel like let me double check. If you did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
And they have 4 stress boxes, which means I just have to use 2 fate points, and then
the thugs right? the thugs only have 2 stress boxes, and the low level force assassins only have 2 stress boxes.
So I just need to spend 1 fate point.
1 fate point, and you'll defeat them all in 1 massive attack.
Okay.
Okay. You cry out, dig deep, and rely on your Jedi training, and prove why the Jedi are the standard for force wielding warriors. And an invisible pod racer hits each and every one of them. Scatter these guys around a little bit more. Yeah. So much for that threat. Your stress box is clear.
Okay.
And the GM offers you 2 fate points.
I will take them. Yes.
And stepping out from behind, concealment, is you haven't seen him before. Obviously, you're not seeing him now, but a presence you have not sensed since you were a naval commander 6 months ago.
In the Ombakond sector?
Not in Ombakond. This is when you guys were fighting to be the distraction force in a fake pincher movement.
Interesting.
Yes. You sense the dark side presence of the will that opposed you across the vastness of space.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Not the big scary one that just sensing him caused you psychic damage, but it is a severe, and you hear this over the top kind of gurgling laughter. Kerr, I didn't think that that the Republic would dare to send a Jedi. Then there's the sound of him licking his sword. He says, "Nom nom nom," but my blade is thirsty. I am among the Chun-Ji and In. I am In, Lord of the Hooks of Charong, and you stand between me and my chosen prey. And more cur, gurgle, gurgle, licking of swords, and chewing of scenery.
I feel like you and your sword need to get a room. Wow. Do you need some time alone? Like, we're on a schedule here.
I'll carve out plenty of room in your guts, cur, lick. I'm
As
so
he's slowly
mad
walking forward.
that none of the other guys showed up to play when I finally get to put him on the map. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So this particular campaign ends Samurai Showdown style.
Okay. Jomok tries to at least give an outward appearance of being calm. Like I feel like he put up a good facade, but at the same time, he's freaking out on the inside. Like, what the crap am I supposed to do?
So his opening move is actually going to be provoke.
Because he gets initiative, I'm guessing.
He does.
Okay.
This is a boss battle. And like most of your boss battles, he's beyond you.
Okay. I will defend with Will.
Yep.
I feel like I get an aspect out of that, don't I?
You do get an aspect out of that, yes. You beat him by 4. You get 2 aspects out of that. I'm going to say Path of the Jedi and What a Poser are your 2 aspects.
And Jomok is going to try to call a bluff and distract him by thinking that the rest of the group is there. He'll be like, "Oh, just how I planned it. Just wait until you make your first move, and then I will let one of my associates just subtly let you taste their sword."
You're gonna try and fake your way past this fight and scare him off. That's interesting. Okay, roll deceit. That's very interesting. It's not what I thought you were going to do in the face of this conflict. That is even close to what I thought you were going to do in the face of this conflict. Epic deceit. Oh my gosh, if you pull this off. Empathy. Oh, wow. 4.
And
you're going to tag Path of the Jedi and What a Poser?
Yeah, if that gets me through this fight.
So that's 8. So you put you. All right, so mental. You fill in his 4th mental stress, mild mental shaken, mild mental unsure. Probably 2 more to throw on a moderate would be enough to make him retreat. If you can think of 2 more things to even throw at him. 2 more aspects that would scare him. I can't believe you're going to bluff your way past in. Oh my gosh.
I think that the fact that he just saw me be a bloodthirsty kind of Jedi, and the fact that I didn't shy away from the first fight would be a good one, as well as the fact that he's seen my group of people before and I am part of the Jedi. So I feel like those 2 would appropriately inform him that I'm not
Okay.
I'm not, I'm not one that would shy away from a fight, or necessarily bluff him. I'm very much.
So look how savage you are, Gray Jedi, and my people kill as a kill as a way of life. So we're gonna
There's
add
that.
moderate. Um, Fear of Jomok. For his turn, In will concede, retreat, and collect 4 fate points for your next encounter. That was some unique gaming. That's Fear the Masked Jedi. That Cookman, well done. That was great. He's got 5 fate points now, and I'm going to use them against you next time you have an encounter, but very well done.
Well, hopefully it'll be an encounter where I'm not by myself. We have our support droid to help us out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that was you have also added Fear of Jomok to Prince Sato and his entire court. Because that was one epically freaking disturbing victory. You twisted man. Just, I had to squish him like a juice box. Okay.
I wonder if Jomok, in his blindness, will remember to put on a conciliatory smile for the court, so that way they don't see his expression that he gave in right before he scared him off.
I'm gonna offer you a fate point for Path of the Gray Jedi.
I'll take it.
Okay, so Jomok turns to comfort the traumatized court of Prince Sato. And has no idea that he's smiling through a blood-soaked visage of gore from the violence of his kills. Further traumatizing the court. The princess faints in her husband's arms.
Now is not the time to be weak.
Oh, you disturbing. Oh, wow. It's gonna take you forever to get bits and pieces of those bad guys out of your mask. Yeah. So, the pickup goes smoothly, and the court in exile heads to the rendezvous point. GM offers you 2 fate points.
2 fate points. I love it.
Okay, on the path out, Light Squadron is cut off by a Marauder class cruiser and 3 squadrons of enemy cloak-shaped fighters.
Okay.
It's battle meditation or death.
Wow, those are great choices.
I thought you'd appreciate them. But battle meditation is one of your stunts now, I do believe.
It is. Which, I mean, yeah. I'm all on board with the battle meditation. That sounds like the great option.
I need to do 1 moment of research. I have not had a chance to actually upgrade the Gekovian fighter pilots.
Oh.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they were at 9 refresh. That means this level up brings them at 10. They're at your level. Oh goodness. So why don't you go over to Clone Wars characters, page 26. Gekovian commando pilots.
Okay.
So you've got 5 more skill points to spend, and we're adding superb as a skill cap. And so 5, I think we would just bump pilot up to superb.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's their primary. It's everything that
Then
they need.
we start reshuffling. So craft or scholarship or stealth up to great. Their droid bodies damage and capabilities is based off of craft and scholarship.
Right.
Mechanics and computer skills, respectively.
I don't know. I like all 3 of them, but I feel like the core skill is probably craft. Does that sound right? Is that one that they lean on the second most?
Well, scholarship is so craft is both maintenance and building and repair and sabotage, that kind of thing. Scholarship is
Right.
not just computers, but it's also sensors, that kind of thing.
Okay.
What's your call?
Oh, that's. Are they gonna be able to have 3 greats though? I thought maybe they were.
Two greats.
2 greats. All right, let's do scholarship. Um,
Okay, so now we got deceive, notice, resources, and shoot to bump up to good.
right. They already use their pilot to shoot though, don't they?
In their droid bodies, yes.
Um, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't really see any of them that really kind of pop out to me. Maybe. I mean, if they're already doing shoot, with their piloting, then I'm not going to worry about that too much. Maybe notice would be a better one. It'd give them.
Okay. Deceive is, but deceive is also what they use to pass for droids.
Oh, gotcha.
They're all four very useful skills.
Right. And they don't use pilot as their initiative, do they?
Yep.
Oh, they do. Okay. Okay. Yeah, then I think deceive would probably be the best choice there then. That's a solid one.
All right. Burglary contracts ride survival or will to go up to fair.
What is ride? I didn't know that was a skill.
That's pilot of beings.
Ah, gotcha.
So, if a gecko hopped on a house cat, he'd be using ride.
Right. And with the droid bodies, they're using craft and scholarship for their physical and mental stress.
Yep. But of course, the pilot themselves uses will.
Yeah, I think putting will up would be a good idea there.
And then we can add a skill. We don't have lore yet. They are serving with Jedi.
That is a good point. All right, that'll be the fifth one then.
All right. So minus +1 piloting for defense and combat, dogfighter, droid body, droid pilot, +1 to draw. Combat maneuvering, +1 to defense. They get to have another. They get another stunt. +1 to attack or sabotage droids, +1 to pilot a droid body. Better crawl. Gonna go with Top Gun. +1 to attack. Piloting droids or small craft. And that's going to be pilot is superb. That goes up to fantastic because it's +1 to pilot. So, starfighters, fantastic initiative, shoot, and defense. Droids, epic, initiative, shoot, and defense. Okay. Scary, scary little lizards.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Now that we've upgraded who we need to upgrade, let's go back to space.
And the stress doesn't change at all for them, do they? Because they already had the good to great doesn't change anything.
Correct.
What about the average to fair? No, average to fair will does not change that either. Okay. Okay.
So now you've got to get past the blockade of the planet. Ooh, goes anti-cruisers. We can have a couple of those up here. And then I don't think I've added Marauder Corvettes to our...
We have them?
We should. I was digging around for more images. Marauder class corvette. Yes. That's about right. Well, they're about 200 meters. These guys are about 600 meters. There you go. That's about right for scale.
Okay.
Huh. I haven't dragged cloak shapes fighters on here. Do I even have them? I'll be really upset if I don't. They're classics. Huh. Well, I guess I don't. I'll have to go with a different fighter. Cutlass patrol craft for our starfighters. Call those half squadrons of 6. That's just weird. And then we've got light squadron, of course. This is the
That
right.
is quite a lot. So all these are bad guys then?
Yep.
Except for the 6 on the bottom.
Yeah.
Right.
The tri-wing fighters and your shuttle.
Oh, okay.
I do believe I said there was going to be like 3 shuttles, so.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to blow your way through. The tri-wings do have proton torpedoes, and they're basically kitted out very much like X-wings.
Nice.
Lasers and proton torpedoes. So each of these does represent a half squadron to balance things out. So you definitely get to go first, and you are thinking battle meditation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I can put use force stress to increase it, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to use my 6 force stress box,
That's
and
10 stress.
Yep.
Okay, so that's in terms of zones. 1, 2, 3, call it 4 and 5. Alright, so you're going to put, and then fantastic. If you don't use any more, then that's just going to be 2. If you use another fate point, then every one of those will pick up 3 aspects.
You said it I'm sorry, can you say it again?
Okay, so at 1 shift, you get your first aspect, right?
Right, yes.
At 4th shift, you get your second aspect. At 7th, because it goes every 3, third aspect.
Yeah. Okay, so I can spend one fate point and get a third aspect for all of them.
Yep.
All right. Well, I am a Jedi Consulor, so boom. Give them all that wonderful, wonderful fate points.
This is kind of, I mean, your character